not going to lie to you guys, we have a pretty easy start to our morning, but unfortunately, the day kind of deteriorates from here. Let me explain. We're going to start with the imagery here on satellite and radar, where there's not too much happening as we look close to home. But zooming out, we're going to do a little examination of what's happening across the region because there are a few things to note. First of all, you'll notice this diagonal line of clouds. This is the last of our low pressure system that came through last night and brought just the littlest bit of rain. But as we look off to the west, you'll notice more in the way of that lake effect. Snow coming off the Great Lakes, Lake Ontario, as we look toward the shores of New York. That's where we're starting to see some of those snowflakes coming down as the wind starts to move out of the west. But by the afternoon, a couple things happen. First of all, the wind picks up dramatically. Second of all, our wind direction changes from westerly to northwesterly, and that's going to drive a lot of cold air. So let's go through it, starting with the winds. Right now, we're seeing single digits and low teens in terms of those wind speeds, those 1-minute averages, but our gusts are starting to get into the 20s. And by the afternoon, look at these numbers. We're going to see gusts up into the 30s and 40s. Some spots could even near 50 miles per hour by our Thursday afternoon. And really, this will linger on through Friday morning. So it's a really gusty stretch we've got going on here, and you'll feel that stepping out the door. For that reason, we do have a wind advisory in place from 10 o'clock this morning until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. What does this mean for you? It just means use common sense and leave a little extra time for your commute, especially if you drive a high-profile vehicle. I know, for example, I drive a Jeep, and this thing, a little bit boxy, can kind of shake around on the road when I'm behind the wheel. On days like this, it gets a little uncomfortable. Ooh, even the camera moving around a little bit right now. We do see some sunshine on the horizon. It's a nice start to the day in that regard, and we will have sun throughout the day, but some clouds creep in here and there. Temperatures at the moment, this is the other side of this forecast that's a little bit funky here. It's 37 degrees right now in Providence, Westerly, and Newport. It's 35 in Smithfield and 38 as we look to New Bedford. However, this is just about as warm as it's getting today. Temperatures will actually go down as we move into the afternoon because of the air and where it's coming from. That air from the northwest is much colder, it's much drier, and you're going to feel that in the afternoon with temperatures only in the low to mid 30s as opposed to the upper 30s and low 40s where we're at right now. On top of that, with the wind blowing the way it will, it's going to feel like we're in the 20s for most of the day. So that's how you should dress heading out the door. Dress for the 20s, and I hope you get the chance to be a little bit warmer. Overnight tonight, warmer is not the vibe. We end up right around 20 degrees or so for your lows. That's where we're waking up tomorrow morning, and it's still pretty windy outside as we get through Friday. On that note, Friday's highs only in the low to mid 30s, way below average by a good 10 degrees at least. We have some sunshine, which is lovely, but it's still windy and it's still cold. Now, as we get into the weekend, this is the next funky part of this forecast. We do have a storm that I've been tracking for quite a few days, and we're starting to see a little more consistency in where this thing's going to end up. And the moral of the story is, I do think we will have some snow showers on Sunday morning. Is this going to be a blockbuster of a storm? Is it going to be a big deal? Do you need to go get the milk, eggs, and bread? No, it's like an inch of snow that we're going to deal with here. I'll show you the numbers in just a second, but you get the picture. We could see some snowflakes from Sunday morning into early Sunday afternoon. Here are the numbers for some proof for you. Again, these numbers are not set in stone, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually a little bit lower with most of us between a dusting and an inch by the time we get toward the weekend. But we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep you posted. Your job is just to stay weather aware and know that we are tracking something as we head toward the second half of our weekend.
I think we can handle that, Christina.